Now, we're in in-game chat, and I want to talk about, will 2023 go down as one of the best years in gaming? So let's take a look back at this year, and we're also going to take a look forward as to what games are coming out. But so far, 2023 is shaping up to be an incredible year. Kev, would you agree that we're having just like an insane year of games coming out?
Yeah, 2023 did not have to go this hard so far. Like, so far, we're getting killer games from all fronts, right? We're getting great games from Capcom. We're getting great games from Microsoft, like Sony. Like, we've just been killing it from all fronts.
Right. I mean, if we look at some of these games, we have Tears of the Kingdom that just came out, dropped. Obviously, we knew that was going to be incredible, but 95 sitting at the tippy top at Metacritic right now. Metroid Prime Remastered at a 94. Like, okay, first off, Nintendo, bravo. Like, killing the game, always. Resident Evil 4, 93. Street Fighter 6, 92, and this game doesn't even come out yet. Dead Space Remake, 89. Hi-Fi Rush in 89 that came out of nowhere. Diablo 4 is another one, 88. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, 85. And there's so much more that I haven't even talked about. I just kind of picked those. Thank you for actually putting that graphic there. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, Octopath Traveler 2 in 86. Hogwarts Legacy, Wulong. The list goes on, and we're not even talking about indies. Like, this is just mostly the AAA stuff. So out of this list, like, I guess, what game has kind of been like the biggest surprise to you? I guess is a good question.
I mean, obviously, Hi-Fi Rush was literally the surprise of the year so far, because that came out of nowhere. It was just a shadow drop, and it came out on the Xbox showcase that they had recently, and it was a phenomenal game, right? Like, that's one of the games that you probably will talk about for Game of the Year this year, I would assume. This game just blended it so well with platforming and also having a great cast of characters. The art direction was phenomenal. Like, everything about it, I loved it. I had a blast. The last 10-15 minutes of that game, loved it so much. Like, everything just encompassed everything everything was so beautifully well done together. So I had a great time playing that game.
Looking at this list now, Kelv, let's take away Legend of Zelda. Let's put them away, because it's kind of unfair to pit these games against that game. What game here do you think would have won like Game of the Year? And your pick, not picking Zelda because that's cheating.
So if Game of the Year was right now,
yeah, exactly. Like, just it'd be hard, right? And we're halfway through 2023. It's nuts.
Out of this list here, that's tough, dude. That's fucking tough. I mean, Resident Evil 4. Has there ever been a remaster or a remake as a Game of the Year contender?
I want to say no. Don't quote me on it, but I want to say no. Does it count? Can it be?
I think so. I think it's done a good amount of changes throughout the game that it would be considered a fresh take on the series.
I agree.
I would probably go with Metroid Remastered or Resident Evil 4, honestly.
Those are your two, and not counting Street Fighter. Again, Street Fighter 6 is very niche. I think that's the only reason not as many people play, just because it is kind of like pigeonholed into the fighter category. Whereas a lot more people pick up Resident Evil 4 and the Metroid Primes and stuff like that. I feel like Diablo 4 kind of has a way to sneak in, because it's just another huge game.
No answer is wrong.
I
feel like. I think if you pick any of these, Octopath, if you pick Hi-Fi, if you pick Jedi Fallen, Jedi Survivor, I think all of these games are perfect contenders for Game of the Year. It just depends on your taste. For me, Metroid Prime, I mean, I'm a huge Metroid fan, but that game really did a lot of things that I enjoyed, especially like kind of like doing a lot of quality of life things that made the game much better, in my opinion. And it's the same thing with Resident Evil 4. So I would pick those two out of the rest here.
For sure. And we haven't even discussed the games coming out. So let's move on to the games coming out on the horizon. Just June alone, we have Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 16, right? July, we have Pikmin 4, Immortals of Avium, which was the game that just showed on the PlayStation Showcase. August, we have Armored Core 6. September, we have Starfield. Then we have Mortal Kombat 1. October, Assassin's Creed Mirage. And like already that's stacked. To be determined, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Spider-Man 2, Forza Motorsport, Stellar Blade, and Hellblade 2. Like, we don't even have release dates for those. Like, those well could come out at the end of the year. I don't think Final Fantasy Rebirth will, because I just don't see it. But anyways, what a step year. What an absolutely insane year. The only thing that's like missing is like Halo or something. Like if there was like another Halo or something that was to drop,
Right.
that would be like the cherry on top with this year. So I think 2023 might be possibly the best year in gaming ever, as far as just like quality goes. Like almost all AAA games this year have been great. Like, they're just great games. And I think this is a lesson to a lot of developers. I think a lot of developers last year or years before were just like, they got kind of lazy, and not late. I don't want to say lazy, because they're never lazy, but like, companies were just like, just make open world and just put shit in it, and then that's it. You'll buy it. And it's like, no, you need more than that, right? Like, you look at Zelda, open world, but has such a strong story, right? And it's just, there's barely any bugs in that game, and you could do so much. It's crazy. I can't wait for the games that are to come out. Like, specifically, Final Fantasy 16 is going to be huge.
Yeah, right now, I'm really looking forward to Final Fantasy 16. Like, that's like my main game right now. Everything else can wait. Right now, we're so close. I think we're like 22 days away from Final Fantasy 16 as of this recording, and I took the week off. Like, I'm ready for this game. Everything else, man. I mean, everything you said already was stellar, but like, coming soon, like you have July Pikmin 4, which is a very niche game, but like, it has its audience, right? Immortals looks really cool, so that's gonna be a fun game to see if it comes out, if it actually makes an impact, right? And then August, Armored Core 6, like, that right there already has my attention. And then September is stacked with just 2 games, right? You have Starfield, which is going to be a massive game from Microsoft. Like, that's huge. That's huge coming into September. And then we don't even know what else is to come, right? Because we don't know Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's release date, which I'm assuming it's going to get pushed back to next year.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, it's coming out in the fall. I'm assuming September, maybe October. If it comes out September along with Starfield and Mortal Kombat, that's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
I could see it coming out in October with Assassin's Creed Mirage. And then Forza, your usual Forza, your Stellar Blade, I don't see that coming out anymore. I see that kind of pushed back to 2024. And then Hellblade, who knows? Maybe it could come out this year. But again, that's another one that I can probably see moving to 2024. So there are games that can kind of be pushed away to 2024 and leave some room to like the big hitters that are definitely coming out this year. But even with those games moving towards 2024, this year already looks stacked, and then the next 6 months looks crazy. So I mean, we're eating good. We're good right now.